Welcome to Jack's Adventure, a journey through the magical forest story. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there was a little boy named Jack. Jack lived in a small village at the edge of a vast, enchanted forest. Jack had always been fascinated by the forest and the stories that he had heard about it. It was said that the forest was home to magical creatures, secret treasures, and hidden adventures. One day, Jack decided to explore the forest. He packed a bag with food, water, and a map and set out on his adventure. As he walked through the forest, Jack felt a sense of excitement and wonder. The trees were taller than any he had ever seen, and the flowers were more vibrant and beautiful than anything he had ever imagined. As Jack walked deeper into the forest, he came across a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a magnificent tree, taller than any he had ever seen. The tree was surrounded by a circle of mushrooms, and Jack could feel the energy of the forest pulsing around him. Suddenly, Jack heard a rustling in the bushes. He turned to see a small creature emerge. It was a fairy, with delicate wings and a sparkling aura. The fairy introduced herself as Tilly and asked Jack if he was lost. Jack explained that he was exploring the forest and that he had come to see the magical tree. Tilly smiled and said that she could show him the way. Together, Jack and Tilly walked through the forest, and Tilly pointed out the various magical creatures and hidden treasures along the way. They saw unicorns and dragons, goblins and trolls, and even a talking tree. Finally, they arrived at the tree. Tilly explained that it was known as the Tree of Life and that it held great power and wisdom. She said that if Jack climbed to the top of the tree, he would be granted a wish. Excited by the prospect of making a wish, Jack began to climb the tree. The branches were sturdy, and he made good progress. As he climbed higher and higher, he could feel the energy of the forest flowing through him. He reached the top of the tree and closed his eyes, making his wish. Suddenly, Jack felt a jolt. He opened his eyes to find that he was falling through the air. He landed with a thud on a soft, mossy surface. As he stood up, he realized that he was no longer in the forest. Jack found himself in a vast, underwater world. The water was crystal clear, and he could see all kinds of sea creatures swimming around him. He saw mermaids and dolphins, seahorses and crabs, and even a giant octopus. As Jack explored the underwater world, he felt a sense of peace and tranquility. He swam through coral reefs, played with schools of fish, and even rode on the back of a dolphin. Eventually, Jack found a treasure chest on the ocean floor. He opened it to find a glowing pearl. As he touched the pearl, he felt a rush of energy flow through him. Suddenly, Jack found himself back in the forest, with Tilly by his side. Tilly smiled and asked Jack what he had wished for. Jack told her that he had wished for an adventure, and that he had certainly gotten one. Tilly nodded and said that the forest was full of adventures, and that he was welcome to come back anytime. With a smile, Jack said goodbye to Tilly and began the journey back to his village. As Jack walked back through the forest, he felt a sense of calm and contentment. He knew that he had experienced something truly magical, and that he would always treasure his adventure. From that day on, Jack continued to explore the forest, and he found new adventures around every corner. He knew that he had experienced something truly magical, and that he would always treasure his adventure. As he walked back to his village, Jack felt a sense of gratitude for the enchanted forest and the wonders that it held. The end.